My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. And like I said, today is going to be all about alternates for our paper pumpkin. So in the last video, we had done a Christmas tree treat box, a presents treat box, and then also the snowman treat box. And these were the original projects from the paper pumpkin kit. Really nice size for these. And so today we're going to be focusing on alternates, and I am going to be referring back to my color chart again. Hi Susan, how are you? So here we're going to be working with Old Olive, don't mind the ink on my finger, Old Olive, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Evening Evergreen, and Flirty Flamingo. So here are 3 simple card ideas. Hello. Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Susan. I appreciate that. I wanted to do kind of like 3 simple card ideas. I wanted to try to keep them as close to the paper pumpkin kit as I could. I did add in a few little extras, and I'll go over that with all of you. But here we have a Pool Party base, Flirty Flamingo layer, and then we have a basic white layer with the trees. So I was mentioning this last time, and I am going to just walk through these cards really quickly. So I'm going to be using the tree punch in this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the big tree and we're going to punch out little trees with the big tree, so that it can easily fit on a card, where you can get multiples on a card. But if you want to do the larger size tree on a card, you can do that too. We're going to cut it off at the 4-inch mark, and then we cover the fact that the tree is not quite completed because it gets a little too big for our standard card size, with the presents on the bottom. So we'll go over that too. So this is a Poppy Parade base and Evening Evergreen layer with the basic white. And then we took those pieces from the kit and just played around with them a little bit. And then this one here is probably the simplest of all of the cards. This is an Evening Evergreen card base. We have our snowman just kind of trimmed out. So I literally just laid him on top of a standard size card base, which is the 5.5 by 8.5, and then scored it 4 1/4. So I just basically turned it over and then trimmed off this way, and then I glued him down. So this is actually the snowflake stamp, and I just heat embossed the white on. But if you have white ink, the white pigment ink, you could do that too. So just whatever you prefer. And then this is one of the banners from the kit. I just stamped it in Flirty Flamingo with that present like stripe stamp. And I didn't quite get it perfectly lined up, but it still looks really cute, I think. So the one little extra that I have on here are the star adhesive back sequins. So I put that orange star on the top of each tree here. So that is something that is outside of the paper pumpkin kit. But so here we have this one, just really simple insides, and then this one as well. So we'll recreate these, but I also wanted to talk to you guys about wrapping paper. So one project that I got to do today, which is probably my favorite project of the year so far, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. If you guys have these rolls of paper, now I know you can get them in different places. So this is just like white easel paper. Connor, my son, has an art table, like a desk, and it holds a roll of paper like this, and we just pull the paper over the desk and he can do whatever he wants with it. So this is pretty thin. It's pretty workable. So we decided to make gift wrap over the weekend. So he did one and I did one, and I'm just going to show that to you now. So here's my version, which I just thought was so, I think it's so cute. Now, if you guys want to, you know, make your presents more complete than this, you could take your Stampin' Blends and you could actually like fill in these lines and make it two-toned, or get a ruler and just kind of make ribbon to go along with this bow if you would want to. I thought it looked fine just as it was, but we can play around with that. So this was what I came up with, where just did kind of like sprinkles of the snowflake stamp with all of the sentiments, with the exception of the two from, and then did all of the different color presents. So we did the Flirty Flamingo and the Poppy Parade presents. And then so basically all of the alternate colors are here on this piece of paper. But let me show you Connor's. So here's what his looks like. Okay, and this was so much fun to do with him. This is a great way to get kids involved. So I took some videos outside of the live, and we cut up some of the pieces. So we punched out some of the trees, we cut up the presents. I grabbed some embellishments from an older kit. So if you guys have more than one paper pumpkin, if you have extras left over, go to last year's Christmas kits. This was one of them, and I knew he would really like these because they're puffy. So this was from the November 2020 paper pumpkin kit, which was like the gingerbread kit. So just think back to your embellishments and things that you have. I had a couple of extra sheets of these. So I gave him a sheet, and he put a full sheet on here of the stickers, which was just, it was so much fun to watch him do this. And Connor's thing is he wants to stamp and stamp and stamp and stamp and stamp without re-inking. So either he wants to put his whole hand in the ink pad, or he just wants to get the stamp once and go, 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 go. So you can see here we have things like in repeat, but I mean, he was really into it. It was so, so cute. So if you are looking for ideas of what to do with your kids, or if you do want to involve them with the kits, I would definitely suggest doing something fun like this. And if you guys don't have the easel paper, you could do tissue paper. If you have a piece of, like if you guys have gift wrap at home that's maybe just all red or all green or all blue, consider maybe letting them play around and putting some, pieces on here. So I use our glue, of course, but for Connor, it's easier for him to use a glue stick. So I just gave him a glue stick with the die cut pieces and let him put them on. So if you're worried about the finish of the wrapping paper and you don't want him to stamp on it or her to stamp on it, if you feel like it's going to smear or something, that's okay. Just cut out a bunch of pieces, give them a sheet of embellishments, and just let them have some fun with it. So there's that. Okay, now we can actually see the table. All right. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to show you was if you wanted to do your treat box without the two large pieces on the front. So here I just stamped the snowflakes all the way around. And of course I didn't do it on the bottom, but I did do it all along the sides. And then I took one of those die cut presents from our present stack here, this one, just cut these apart. And I just put one right on the front. And if you would prefer to do a tag, you could do the tag on the front too. So either way, it's going to be really cute. But these are just as cute, even if you don't have, the full blown piece on the front. All right, so I do have a card base ready to go. And we're going to need our layers. So again, just in terms of measurements, this is 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And then we're going to do an evening evergreen layer, which I will need to cut. So 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so we have our layer 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to take our basic white and we're going to cut that to 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, and I'm going to cut one for the inside as well. So I'm just going to do another one at 5. Okay. So for our tree, what we're going to do with our tree is I'm going to take the very tip of the tree. I'm going to line it up with the 4-inch mark. I'm going to try to keep my tree as straight as possible, just by kind of focusing on the tips of the end here. And then once I get it to 4 inches, just like that, we should have these big branches right here, and it's going to cut just under that. So there we go. Okay, and then for our layers, this one's pretty simple. We can just literally back this one on. This is my Stampin' Seal Plus, by the way, but you can use the regular seal. I'm out of regular seal. Okay. Not perfectly straight, but it's okay. We'll be all right. All right, and then we're also going to put our white layer down too. I'm just going to try to keep each one centered. Okay. All right, there we go. We're going to save this piece because we're going to use it. And then here, what we're going to do is take our tree like tip here, and we're going to go right up to the edge of the card. So I want to kind of stay within the borders, and you can see it's staying within the borders here. So I'm going to glue this one down. Okay. All right. And then we're going to get our presents. So I'm going to get one of my unused presents here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to cut this up. So the 3 presents that I thought nestled really nicely under this tree were the pink, the blue, and the red. So I'm going to focus on those here too. And I think I already have a pink ready, so we'll go with that one. So we'll trim out the blue and the red. And what I did with the presents was I decided to pop these up on dimensionals. So the only thing really that you want to be aware of when you're arranging your presents is that people can't see that you cut off the bottom of the tree. I don't think it's going to be a big, huge deal. I don't think people are going to be looking that closely, but just in case, you'll be all right. Here we go. I'm going to use my mini dimensionals for this, but you can use the Stampin' Dimensionals that came in the paper pumpkin kit too if you want to. The number of dimensionals are not too many in this kit, so that's just something to be aware of. So I'm just going to start right down here in the center with the red. So we'll stamp our Merry Christmas in Poppy Parade. We're actually going to stamp Oh What Fun in Poppy Parade too. So one ink pad for this one. If you want to stick with your color in the kit, it'll be Flirty Flamingo instead, and that would be just as cute. All right, so Merry Christmas. And then here, we're just going to go sideways. Right along our tree, so you can position it until you feel like you're fitting your sentiment in as nicely as you can, right? So I'm just going to go here. I'm giving it a little extra press because I have some layers there, and it's kind of overlapping onto my tree. All right, and then let's do the other side, and it's the same thing. So Get your positioning the way that you want it. And you can just do one side too if you don't want to do both. I thought it looked cute with the tree framed in. Okay, and we did it. So this is card number 1. Let me just pop the inside in here. I always forget to do that on my lives. If I was pre-recording this, I would be moving as slow as a turtle. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to put that in. All right, and this first card is all good to go. So let's go ahead and grab our second card, which will be our tree card. So for this one, we are going to punch out some trees. Now, the reason why we saved the bottom half of that first tree is because we can try to angle this in such a way, just like that, where we can still get trees out of the bottom, even though we've used part of it for the top. Okay, and then I'm just going to do literally the same thing over here. If you have a little bit of white like I do down here, that's okay. I noticed that it's still blended in on the card because it's going to be on a basic white background. And if you want to do this side, just as adorable. Okay, so we can still get 2 punched trees out of the piece that we didn't use from this card. So that's a good way to kind of recycle and use the majority of your pieces if you don't want to use the big gigantic tree. So we're going to do that. I'm going to need 2 more, so I'm going to get myself another tree here. And if you want to decorate your own, we can do that too. I'll show you how to do your own tree. Okay, so we're going to do 2 more. Just going to go right from the bottom so that if I want to make another of the large card, I can do that. Okay. All right, so we have 4 trees here. You don't have to do 4, you could do 3. Really super cute if you want. And then we're going to need one of our banners. So we're going to need one of these. Okay, we're going to need our twine for this project here. And I used the Flirty Flamingo, but we also have the old olive twine if you want. Pool Party. That was Pool Party cardstock, Pool Party ink. Oh my goodness. Please listen to me. Balmy Blue. Balmy Blue would be just as gorgeous, but it's Pool Party that's the alternate color. Okay. So we're just going to stamp all over. Just the whole thing. I tend to go like right in a line, but if you want to move your piece around or move your snowflakes around, you can definitely do that. So we're going to get our twine, and I'm probably going to cut off, let me take a look here. So this is 12. I'm probably going to double that up just so that I have extras. And I'm going to wrap this around a few times. So my goal was to wrap it 3 times. You can do whatever you think. There we go. And it looks like that just about fits. So I'm going to take a little bit of that tear and tape that they gave us and just secure these pieces on the back. And you don't have to remove the other side of the tear and tape unless you want to, because I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. Okay, so that looks pretty good. If you would want to rearrange them on this side, you still, you still have the movement. You can still do that. We can do it. We got this. Okay, there's one. Let's see. That's better. Not 100%, but it's better. And then we're going to take our Happy Holiday sentiment and we're going to stamp that in Evening Evergreen. So, whoop, my cards are about to hit the floor. All right, so we're going to do Evening Evergreen with Happy Holidays. These are all stamps from the Paper Pumpkin Kit. Okay, so the only difference is my little banner piece on this side, hello, was on this side, but on this card we're going to do it on the opposite side, and that's okay. It doesn't really matter, right? So let me just pop this on. When I pull out my dimensionals, I pull out like 10 packs because they're all sticking. I have to find a better way to store my adhesives. All right, so I'm just gonna put that layer right up against the edge, and then we'll have just a little bit of white peeking out at the bottom. Really cute. And then we're gonna bring in those adhesive back sequins. So this is my little extra. This is not part of the kit. Let's see. I know the big fonts are fabulous, aren't they, Mary? That is one of my favorite things about this kit. I really appreciate a good large font. And the way that the handwriting is, you can still very clearly read what it says. And that is a big thing for me. Okay, so we're going to focus on all big stars. So all the same size, all the large orange. If you would want to do this purpley color, you could too. We're just going to put them at the top of each tree. If you don't have the stars, you know, feel free to use any of your embellishments or gemstones or sequins. It'll look cute. Okay. Here we go, one more. It's funny because I struggle to get our topper straight on our real tree, and I'm apparently not getting them straight on the little paper trees either. Okay, so we have this, and now we just need to put this on the base. So let's get our card base here. Okay, and so there is card number 2. And then let me just show you the alternate tree, okay? And you guys can, you know, let me know what your opinion is on this. If you have any problem punching out the decorative tree so that you don't, like, because if you want to do cards fast, I would just recommend using the punch, because if you want these smaller trees, because you don't have to decorate anything, you don't have to worry about it. But if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to punch out of here, this is what our little old olive tree looks like. And then all I'm going to do is take some of our twine. So I'm on a roll with my Flirty Flamingo. Let me just keep going with this. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and I'm going to focus on each of the branches here. So I'm just going to put this on. And honestly, I probably should just tape it down. It's probably going to be easier to show you guys if I just tape the little piece here. So let me just pop that on there. Okay. And we're just going to wrap it. Now, if you want to go straight across, you can do that. I tend to go at an angle. I tend to do that with my real tree. So I'm going to do it here too. And then we're just going to go all the way down. And then I would recommend just kind of doing a little more adhesive to hold this other piece in the back. Okay, so I didn't exactly measure that, but my guess would be probably about 12 inches or so, maybe a little less. And then I'm just going to take this, glue that onto the back, and we have 3-dimensional trim for the tree. Okay, and then we're also going to, we have a little piece sticking out here, and that will bother me. So I'm just gonna trim it right off. Okay, so we can also trim it, right? So one thing that I thought would be really cute, if you're really focusing on that flirty flamingo look, is the 2021, 2023 gem pack here. The little gems, like they're really super sparkly. I think they would be really cute on a tree. If you'd want to do more traditional colors, you can. I'm going to focus on these. Again, think about your old paper pumpkin kits. If you still have any of your older kits in the embellishments around, I think that these iridescent sequins that are already adhesive backed would be so cute too. So let me just put a few of these on. I moved my take your pick tool, so nobody panic, it'll be okay. I'm going to focus on the smaller gems here, and I'm just going to put different colors on. For me, I like a lot of sparkle, so I would probably use more rather than less. Absolutely love the way all of the end colors look in these gems. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Okay, and then if you would want a topper on here, we could use the larger of the pale papaya, or you could go with a star. Okay, and then you have your tree this way. So if you want to decorate your own tree, you can still do that. And then they would be just as adorable on the cards as these if you don't want to punch out your tree. So just something to keep in mind there. I did that a couple of years ago when the tree punch first came out, and I always loved that look. I thought it was so cute. Okay, so our next card is going to be our snowman. So for this one, we're going to need our big snowman. If you want 3D embellishments on your snowman, consider the brads, the round and square brads. I think that you can't really get any better than these squares here. I mean, how cute are these? And you could just poke it right through, okay, and have that like dotted eye. So normally I would do this with my take your pick tool, but I moved it. So that's what I get for moving it, right? So let me see if I can poke. Let's just see what it looks like, because that's the whole point, right? Okay, here we go. They are a little bit smaller than the printed one, but I don't think that's too bad. Look at how cute that is. I love that. Okay, I wanted to do that with my first card, and I didn't. I was putting it together in a hurry. Oh my gosh, is that cute. So you could do these as the buttons too if you want to, if you like that squared off look. That's adorable. Let's see. So just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like without the snowflakes, it looks like this. And the Evening Evergreen really helps this stand out. And of course, Evening Evergreen is what they used for the buttons in the eyes, so and the mouth. But what we're going to do is just trim off this little extra bits that we have from the snowman. Here it is with the snow. Heat emboss. Okay, I will definitely do that. All right, so this is, and I mean, you can see how that stands out. I mean, I think it makes such a difference to see the snow. So if you have the heat embossing, if you have the white pigment ink, then use it. You know, I mean, that's what the little snowflake cluster is for. But let's go ahead and do the heat emboss then. All right, so here we go. So here is our red Merry Christmas. Here is our green Merry Christmas, our evening evergreen, I should say, which is, I don't know what I'm going to do when it goes away. Luckily, we have it for 2 years, but so that was that. So these are all of our cards, and I'm really wondering if I have time to do another alternative with you guys. Okay, so I know I've used this snowflake stamp so much. Maybe I can do it in a different color. So instead of doing the pool party, why don't I do like Flirty Flamingo? We could do like little pink ones. Which is good. We want it to hold what we're clipping. Okay, so we have that, and then let's fill up one of our bags. I have some candy here. Still going strong with the Reese cups. We haven't eaten them all yet, thank goodness. And here is one of our bags. Let's do 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Cut some twine. All right, and there we go. So these are so cute, right? I mean, so many different things that you guys can do with these kits. And I have to say that, you know, this kit is, even if you are, we never grow up when it comes to Christmas, right? I mean, so whether or not you choose to do this presentation, or somewhere in between, I mean, really, I know it says 9, right? Like I know it says 9 on the box. You can make 9 treat boxes. You can get so many out of these if you separate them. So it can actually go much, much more than that if you want. And I'm going to have a special live time on Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. instead of Thursday, because Thursday is Thanksgiving. Thank you guys so much.